Alright, this is going to be the beginning of my review for the Ultra Act Gridman. I did the regular Ultra Act Gridman and thought it might be a good idea to do the, the upgraded one. So, let's take a look at him. Here he is in the box, doing stuff, box stuff. Get some nice artwork. Honestly, this is so nice that it's almost, I'm almost considering just I could see how you would want maybe to leave him in the box, because you can see everything from the box. It's a really nice box. He might stay in the box. I might put him back in the box after the review, and probably not though. We'll see. Get some really nice art on there. Legal shit. Okay, let's open them up. You know what? Let's get rid of this box altogether. Alright, here I've opened the side of the box and let's see what we can do. Okay, first thing I notice, extra head, extra hand. And turn him around, and some nice looking effect parts. That's something I really liked about the first one, is he had some nice effect parts. I'm also noticing these weird little clips. So yeah. As for what's in the box, there's a manual. A silver sheet of paper. Okay, let's see. Okay, this I guess is how to disassemble them. There's effect parts and those clips. And a lot of people were confused when this guy came out. It was whether you had to buy Thunder, or you regular Gridman, or whether or not you had to. He came with an extra Gridman. I think this guy comes with an extra Gridman inside of him. He better for the price. In fact, I'm 100% sure he's got another Gridman in him. Whether or not it's a complete Gridman, I think you probably have the option to... Okay, let's not do that. I think you have the option to combine him with another Gridman, if you already have him. And that was a mistake on my part. Everything's going everywhere. There's still more tape. Okay, yeah, just destroyed everything. Back in the day, I'm not sure if they had Japanese equivalents. Yeah, all his hands fell out. I'm not sure if they had... I'm not sure if they had Japanese equivalents, but wow, he just fell apart. But, they had the big versions of these toys, and then they had the little versions of these toys. And the, not really big and little, they had the big and little cheap ones. And you got a almost non-posable servo or Gridman figure and some really cheap snap-on armor. And I had, honestly, I didn't have the big servo, but I did have the big version of this guy. And I also had the little version of this guy. And I'm gonna So yeah, there is half of a servo figure in there. Okay, I'm not going to pull off his head, but... Okay, I get it. You get like this weird base thing to them. And if you want, you can attach it to Gridman. So let me look at this manual real quick. There's a ball joint, so I should... Okay. You might want to quit pulling on your expensive toy. Or read the bloody manual. Okay, so, this is what you get when you take all the armor off. Yeah. So, for posability, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do posability on this thing. You have a ball joint that does nothing. I'm bending this. This is not moving anywhere. No leg, no waist, no nothing. The only posability is he has some crazy arm articulation. Look at that socket. You know, obviously. This moves and this moves, and can you not double jointed elbows, but yeah, and he does the same on both. But yeah, it has quite a bit of molded detail. These screw holes in the back. I guess because you're not supposed to see this is cool. I wish it had some leg posability though, because if you don't have, oh wait, you got little ball joints in there, I think. Yeah, you get little balls inside the ball joint. I'm not going to try and move them because I've heard bad things about the other ones. But it looks like you've got some posability for this useless ball joint. But, it would have been nice to have leg posability. Simply because, you know, you can move his legs. But, I'm going to assemble the actual thing and we'll see what he does. Okay, and here we have it, assembled as it is out the box. If I had to say something, it is in this form. It is very finicky. The legs sort of don't really want to lock together perfectly. Maybe it's just mine, but yeah, kind of just fall off. There's pegs in the back of these legs. You push them in there. There's these little notches on the side that's supposed to lock in, but they don't really. But yeah, he's got these little hinges on the back that let his backpack connect to his arms. This is nice, where he's got a little ball joint in there that lets you peg it in, but he's got a little panel flap on the side that lets you properly connect it. But these are also loose as well, see? So looseness is a very big issue. I mean, like I said, this isn't a toy. This isn't meant to be played with. But when you're posing them and you can't get them in the right pose, it's kind of annoying. Other than that, it's a pretty good figure. Wish it would have at least added some paint apps here because, you know, that's how it's supposed to be. As far as posability, you can move his arm and pop out the ball joint while you're doing it. You can move his arm pretty much almost the same way as you could without that shoulder armor, because the shoulder armor is attached right here to that little joint, so it still moves forward, back, up, down. Limited range of motion in the arm itself. Try that one more time. Okay, we're back. Yeah. Arms extremely loose. He's got ball joint hands, which aren't as tight as they were on the other one, which is a good thing because I've heard some people of breaking them. V-spin. I believe they come out too. Break! No, I'm just playing. They can come off for his little final drill attack. And something the original toy could not do in any way, shape, or form. Head movement. He's got a double ball joint. Other than that, there's no movement below the waist on the regular figure. Simply because, yeah. This will probably be how I display him. But he is a pain in the butt to deal with. His skirts move. He does have skirt movement, but I think this was really intended to be put on Servo. I mean, Gridman, whatever the hell you want to call him. I'm going to assemble them in that form, and then we will continue the review. Okay, the first thing you want to do is strip Servo down to this. Take the details off his lower legs, pull his hands and his shoulder armor off, his head off. This might not be something you want to do a whole lot just because you are pulling off those ball joints. So, on to the next. Okay, so I have Gridman in there, or Servo, whatever you want to call him. The posability does increase quite a bit. Stability, I don't know. Turns out there's little pegs inside the leg that make them more stable. So maybe I was assembling it wrong with the regular mode. He comes with two heads. You can either have Gridman's head in there and put this on top, and it just snaps down, or you can have the one that comes in the regular one. The one that comes with the regular one is actually more posable, but the other one's more accurate. And you can actually see a little clear spot, and you can actually, if you wanted to, you could see Gridman's head through that. But they simulate that through here. If you take a look at the face, you'll see sort of a fake Gridman face in there. The jewel's real nice too. You add some more paint apps to it in this mode. A few, empty polycaps, the same kind of a few empty ball joints where you had little arms keeping it together and stuff, and a couple small bits used to put it in this mode. Speaking of which, and these, oh my gosh, these took like 15 minutes to get on his arm. I'm not exaggerating. As far as his attack thingy, you get this, and once again, you get this, just like before. It is sharp as hell. Put it on his fist. And yeah, that's loose too. Yeah. It's sort of nice. It comes with a couple extra pieces so that you can still attach a little stage thing, a Tamashii stage to it. Accessory wise, he has a bunch of extra hands. So I'm going to convert him back to regular mode and show you his hands and stuff. Okay, and we're back. Yeah. Anyways, he's got a couple hands. Not really a whole lot. He's got a grasping hand. I'm not really sure why. He doesn't have any extra weapons. Maybe it's so he can hold the sword. Servo sword is too big for him. But maybe if you wanted him to hold something, two splayed hands, and then the two fists he comes with. But As an overall review, to be honest with you, I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's gonna have to grow on me. Would I recommend buying a second servo figure for this? No, it adds some leg posability and a couple small paint apps. I mean, really, you can just take some pearl paint and add it right there, and that's the only thing you're really gonna notice. But while it does that, it's, I don't know, you don't have, while it does add more posability to the legs, it doesn't add enough to warrant purchasing another figure. In fact, you can't use a lot of the posability, extra posability in the legs, just because he's, you know, covered in all that armor. So don't really see the point. But as far as buying it by itself, it's, if you're a fan of either of the series, go ahead. If you're not, why are you looking at it? If they come out with a third one, the dragon, I will probably get that. If you're a fan of the series, get it. If you're not, don't get it. Other than that, if you're asking me if it's any good, yeah, it hinders the posability, but if you actually look at the original figures from the show, they weren't very posable. The guys in the suits could barely walk, so there's you know, not a whole lot I expected. I didn't expect something like a Master Grade 2.0 posability or anything out of this. I expected you snap a couple of things on and that's it. It is loose, but like I said, this is something you're going to stick on your shelf and look at. So that's my review, and see you guys later.